listening to Her Profit Era, the podcast for founders who want a business that actually works. A business that's profitable, predictable, and pays them well. I am Cindy Kumar, a CPA, a fractional CFO from Abbotsford, BC, Canada. I'm the person founders call when they're tired of high revenue months with no money left over. I started this podcast because too many founders were chasing sales while their margins, cash flow, and bank accounts told a completely different story. I believe profit and money in the bank is the standard, not a bonus, and that every founder deserves clarity around their numbers. Each week, you'll get real financial strategy you can actually use and honest conversations with founders and industry experts about what it really takes to build a business that lasts. Today's episode's gonna be a little different. I've been so focused on cash flow, profit strategy, and all the numbers side. But today I just wanted to give an update of what I'm currently working on, what's going on behind the scenes. Also, shout out Ambassador Law Corp. It's my brother's law business for this nice, comfortable sweater. I need to order new merch for myself. So that's been something I've been putting off but need to do. And I'm currently going through tax season right now. And surprisingly, it's been very calm. I've been going through tax season for 12 years now, and every year it's like a very stressful kind of grind. You have so many returns coming in, and it's just like you just have to keep going. Regardless of how many hours it takes, those tax returns need to get done. And this is the first year I feel very calm, relaxed, and chilled out, which doesn't happen because I feel like I'm always like a stress case. But what I did differently this year was in Q4, I reached out to all my corporate clients, all my personal self-employed clients that I've enjoyed working with over the years. And I just reached out, got an update of what's currently going on, sent them the engagement letters, got deposits if they still wanted to work together. And that has really helped because we've drafted everything in Q4 and now it's just a matter of filing their taxes. I'm also not taking on any last minute filers. I have a lot of people reaching out right now if I take them on as a client for the April deadline. And I've had to say no. In the past, I've said yes, but I'm finding the type of people that wait until last minute to file their taxes. They don't have a bookkeeper in place. They don't have an accountant. They're jumping from the cheapest option to the cheapest option and don't really know what's going on in their business. They're just not a right fit for the work that I do and the founders that I want to work with. I really want to support founders that want to grow and scale their businesses or even have a plan for building wealth. So, for example, I'm working with a client right now. She has a comfortable amount in her corporate bank account. The corporation also owes her about $70,000 because she invested heavily at the beginning. And we're looking at private lending, what else she can do with that money. And I just connected her with someone and she's going to go through with it. So she's going to get 7% interest every single year for the amount that she's going to put into private lending. She's able to withdraw that money out of her corporation tax-free, put it into a tax-free savings account, and invest it personally. And she's going to end up in a lower tax bracket compared to if she was investing through her corporation. Because in a corporation, if you are investing, CRA considers that as passive income. So you're taxed at 55%. But that's the type of work I love to do. understanding client situations, what their growth strategy is, what they want their wealth to look like, and me using my connections, the people I know that can support my clients and have similar values and similar approaches to how they support their clients. So that's really what I'm about. Same with when it comes to like cash flow, profit planning, forecasting. I do work with people on a project basis, but what I find works well is working with clients every single month for at least 6 months. Once we have the foundation and strategy built up, then we move to like a quarterly kind of work where we connect quarterly, and unless anything changes significantly, like the plan still works. And you need at least 90 days to at least see if something's working or not. Another thing I'm currently working on is really being intentional about my health. So for so long, I always put like the business's needs, even when I was in the corporate world, it was always about the clients getting the work done, meeting the deadlines, and I would always put myself on the back burner. I did the exact same thing when it came to the business side. I focused so much on clients, marketing, networking, and I pretty much lost myself in that whole process. Like, I feel like last year was a year of like just winging it in the business. And then in Q4, I finally got intentional with things. And really, I'm just focusing on health, taking care of myself. If it doesn't feel good to me, I'm not going to do it. And I'm really trusting my intuition and giving myself space. So I'm not investing into like coaching programs, masterminds, or really going into networking events. I feel like I'm being very intentional about who I connect with and where my energy goes. I also started keto on February 1st. It has been really, really hard. Like the amount of discipline it's taking, I would say like the first 12 days, I was like a hot mess. I like had headaches, had like flu-like symptoms. I just felt miserable, unhappy, didn't want to talk to anybody, didn't want to do anything. I had to cancel client calls because I was just not feeling good. I did not have energy. I couldn't work out. I didn't like the food I was eating, and I just felt so miserable. But on day 12, I took a step back and I really had to ask myself, like, why am I doing keto? Why am I trying to eat better? Why am I doing this? And once I reflected on that, like, I really just want to let go of all this heaviness, all these health issues. I really just want to show up as like the best version of myself. And once I realigned with my intention of why I'm doing keto, why I want to lose the weight, why I want to build muscle, why I want to work out, it's like a switch just went off. And so that's what I'm focusing on right now. I also want to share like my hair. I'm someone that has very like thick curly hair. Even when I straighten it, it feels like it just becomes like really kind of poofy. And my hairstylist Brooke got me on this blowout lotion. It's by Kenra. I highly recommend it if you do have thick curly hair that still poofs out when you straighten it. You need to try this product. It works so well. What I've been doing is just washing my hair, combing it out, and then I put this in, and then I'll straighten my hair like the next day, and it feels so good. Like I just got a blowout. So I highly encourage you to test that out. Another thing I'm doing, I have the Hermosi workshop coming up. So this is my second one. In the first one, we really went over like how to set up the business for like my 3 to 5 year goal. And I feel like it's slowly coming in progress. I thought I would be further ahead, but at the same time, I didn't want to rush creating my lead magnet or just finding things to do. Like, I really want to be intentional about the content I'm putting out there. I really want to feel good about it. And I feel like I thought I would be further ahead, but I realized like rushing and forcing things just never goes well. And the strategy they built for me, like that's the long term vision of the business. I eventually do want to sell the accounting practice, but for now, I just want to build it with intention. I want to be slow. I want to be really growth minded. I really want to focus on working with the right type of clients rather than taking on anybody and everybody for the sake of just making money. Like, I really want to help people with the education, the skills, and experience that I have. And it's all about the right people. I was just reflecting on my client list as well. So last year, I was at like over 200 clients. This year, I've scaled back to 70. And I did like a whole forecasting, projections. And even if I did like no marketing, I would still hit six figures in the business with just my existing client base. It's been so nice. I've been able to like double my revenue and charge clients more. And I still have clients coming back for like 4 years now. And they've never questioned me about price or the value because they understand the relationship we built together. And I'm not sharing this to like brag about what's going on in my business. I'm just sharing it so you can understand that once you build a connection and relationship with your clients and they really understand the value that they bring, they're gonna stay and work with you in the long term. And it's okay to let go of the people that aren't really aligned with you or your values. Because eventually, over time, you're gonna notice that it's just not working and you're eventually gonna have to let them go. One thing I really messed up on from the beginning is when I did discovery calls, I really made it about understanding what the client's looking for and then building like a customized package for them. But the reality was, I shouldn't be making customized packages. So with the Hermosi's help, like I did come down to like two offers only. I'm no longer offering like group coaching or any of that kind of stuff. I'm really focusing on advisory, done for you kind of services, and working in partnership with clients. So over time, I realized that the discovery calls weren't just for those people interested in my services. It was really about it for me too, understanding like, does this person align? Does this person understand what the responsibilities and requirements are? Because taking someone on and having conversations with someone that's already behind on taxes, you holding like multiple meetings with them, trying to get information, and every time they have an excuse for why the work's not done, like it's just very draining on your energy. And you don't want to work with people like that. I know this episode just seems like a random tangent. Another thing I did want to share is that this podcast has hit 1 year. So last year during the Super Bowl, I recorded my first episode and hit post on like Spotify, YouTube, Apple. And here we are on like episode, I'm at like over 130. And I didn't think I would end up here. If you told me a year ago that I'd be interviewing Mike Fada, Molly Middleton, I would have not believed you. It's just crazy how once you start putting yourself out there and showing up with curiosity, it just like things just become so different. People can feel your energy and your intention behind things. And what I realized is like people are more than happy to share their story. Even if it helps one person, like they're making a difference, you're making a difference, I'm making a difference. And this podcast I just started because I wanted to get better at speaking. I used to have like every episode scripted, and now it's just like I can just talk. It doesn't feel awkward or weird. And the most important thing is just like showing up and doing the work when no one's watching. So if you're enjoying this episode, you've been enjoying the podcast, please leave some comments. Please give me a review. Please share it with your friends and family. The more founders and people that I can support with cash flow, forecasting, understanding that revenue is not it, the better I feel like, and I feel like I'm making a difference. So thank you so much for listening to today's rant. I really just wanted to give an update since it's been so long with me batching the episodes right now and doing them based on like a quarterly basis. It just feels like I'm not giving updates in real time. After the Hormozy workshop, I'm sure I'll do another update. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach me on Instagram at It's Cindy Kumar, and I'll see you in the next episode. If you're a founder who wants real strategy, not noise, and you want someone in your corner helping you build a business that feels aligned, is profitable, and actually supports your life, you can apply for CFO on Call. This is my one-on-one financial partnership for established founders, typically making between $500K to $2 million, who want clarity, who want structure and confidence with their numbers. The link is in the show notes so you can schedule a profit strategy call, or you can DM me CFO on Instagram at It's Cindy Kumar, and I'll send over all the details.